My name is Kenzie with Gypsy Yoga by Kenzie. Today I'm going to show you plank to Chaturanga. I will show you the correct way to get into plank and flow through Chaturanga with correct alignment and possible misalignments that you could possibly injure yourself and ways to avoid them. Tabletop position with your fingers spread wide, wrists directly below shoulders. Knees are directly beneath your hips, about hip width distance apart. Practice here pulling up through your core, pushing into the ground and broadening your shoulder blades. Start to press into the ground firmly with your hands and your feet to hover your knees, and you can feel your abs engage. That is the same feeling that you need in your plank position. So spread your feet out long on your tippy toes. Same position, pushing the mat away from you with your hands, broadening your shoulder blades, pushing through your heels. You don't want your butt to be way up and you don't want it to sag. So you kind of want it in a neutral position with your spine, and your head is also in a line with your spine. So your shoulder blades are broadened here, pushing up into the sky. Your heels are pressing back and you're pulling up through your core super tight. This is your plank position. You can also do a modified plank, whereas you keep the same position but you drop your knees to the ground. You're still pulling up through your core. You're still broadening your shoulder blades. Everything's the same, but your knees are on the ground. So let's go back into plank, and we're going to move into a Chaturanga. So from plank, you will inhale and roll forward on your toes. As you exhale, your shoulders are over your wrists, keeping them away from your ears. You will bend your elbows, keeping them at your rib cage, taking your nose all the way to the ground while keeping your abs super strong. And then once you get to the ground, exhale it up into a cobra or all the way up into your up dog. We will talk about cobra and up dog in another video. Same thing for modified plank. So get into your modified plank with your knees on the ground, broadening your shoulder blades, pushing through your heels. When you inhale, you will take your shoulders above your wrists, keeping them away from your ears, lifting your collarbones. As you exhale, bending your elbows, keeping them at your rib cage, squeezing your core tightly, taking your nose all the way to the ground. And as you exhale, untuck your toes and push it up into your cobra or your up dog. Common misalignments that can be done in a Chaturanga that would possibly cause injury. If you were in your plank and you didn't roll your shoulders over your wrists and they were back, when you bend your elbows, you would want to collapse and you wouldn't feel strong and steady in this position. Your stomach would want to sink into the ground, which is not very healthy for your body, your spine, and your arms. It can cause an injury. So what you would want to do, instead of just bending your elbows, make sure your shoulders are over your wrists by rolling on your toes and then bending your elbows and taking your nose to the ground. That is much more sturdy and you can keep your strength stronger through the whole pose. Another common misalignment that I see a lot is when you're in plank and you roll forward on your toes, they bend their elbows outwards instead of keeping them at their rib cage. By bending your elbows outwards, it gives it a very bad alignment and puts a lot of pressure on the outside of your palms of your hands, and it can cause arm injury. And it also takes your shoulders into your ears, which you really want to keep your shoulders away from your ears. One more misalignment is when they are in plank, their head is not in line with their spine and they lift their head up and then they do their Chaturanga. So try and keep your head straight in line with your spine as you move through your Chaturanga. One more time together with the correct alignment as I walk you through it. So starting in tabletop position, pushing into the ground, broadening your shoulder blades, pulling up through your core tightly, pulling your shoulders away from your ears, coming into your plank, either regular plank or modified plank. When you inhale, roll forward on your toes. You can drop your knees, bending your elbows, keeping them at your rib cage, pulling your shoulders away from your ears, squeezing your abs, taking your nose all the way to the ground. When you get to the ground, untuck your toes, inhale up for your cobra or your up dog. So now that you know the correct alignment in Chaturanga so that you will not injure yourself, you can go into your yoga practice with confidence that you are doing your Chaturanga correctly. If you found this video helpful and your Chaturanga has improved, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. If you would like to see more yoga poses explained, check out my playlist of my alignment series here. And please consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more yoga poses explained, more yoga sequences weekly, and some more all about yoga and further your journey as a yogi.